Okay. It looks like we are live on YouTube and we are live on Instagram. Hey guys, it is Monday mindset time. And I'm so sorry, guys, on YouTube. Last week I was so sporadically trying to get everything together that I forgot to hit the unmute button on my Vimeo account. So you guys just we're trying to read lips for an hour or so. And Instagram, you guys are here. Hey, everybody. Good to see you, Danny. Hey, Mike. So today I decided, since I didn't get to go on live Friday, that I am going to do the Q&A of all of the questions that I have been getting through emails, through our classes, stuff that I haven't been able to get to. I thought, thank you for showing me. It looks like we're good on YouTube too. So I can't really see you guys' comments on YouTube just because we're going live in a couple different places, but I will definitely look in the comments. If you guys are new to my channel, I help you how to shift your mindset and your whole embodiment, the ability to alchemize your reality and create your dream life. So if you're just following along and you like what we have to say in this Q&A, go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button and share. It does help the algorithm, even you guys on Instagram. And some of you guys have seen that I just added a subscription group to my Instagram. And no, guys, it's not OnlyFans. I know my fashion is on point, but it is not. It is more about how to get the girl so you don't have to have a virtual dream girl. And also, girls, how to be your own dream girl. So that's what I'm going to be showing you in the subscription group for Instagram. If you guys are interested in that, I will definitely post some more backdoor content for you. And those of you guys on Instagram, we're going to be doing a lot more free webinars this coming fall and winter, just because you guys have been asking, and that's what we're doing. So welcome to my channel, and I'm going to just jump in because we don't need to be sitting here chit-chatting. I have so many questions. I will do my best to get through what I can. I don't like to half-ass answers. I really want you guys to take a nugget or have that, penny drop or have that aha moment every single time you're watching a video. One thing that I will tell you guys, that if you are binge watching different creators and not taking the time to actually consistently implement some of the things that you're learning, that's why it's not working. Because I know you can get that, oh yeah, this is going to work for me. And then you dive in and you're like, I need a quicker fix. I need something faster. It doesn't work like that, you guys. It took you how many years to basically, prove your parents right and become the F up. And now it's time for you to basically recalibrate your entire soul, spirit, body relationship. And that doesn't happen overnight, no matter how much we want it to. Now, there is ways of quantum leaping that, and I'm sure that will be in our Q&A today. So stay tuned. And, again, what I don't answer today, you can always ask me in this comment section, and I will definitely get it to next week. I'm going to try to do a Q&A every single week, whether it's Monday or Friday, depending on what time we've got. And no, these are not real glasses, but someone just asked me that. But no, I always wanted to wear glasses because I felt like it made me seem smarter, but I don't need glasses. So here you go. This is my space-aged attempt. It's my fashion. All right, first question. And this goes perfectly with what I have been creating. I have had probably hundreds and hundreds of emails about, okay, how do I manifest the dream body? Now, why do we want the dream body? Is it just vanity? No, you guys, you have to understand, men, women, I'm going to teach you something today, men and girls. I am going to make you feel less guilt and shame about your desires for your perfect body. Here's why. At the basis of all creation is a concept of yourself, of how you see you, all right? And through how you see you, you will look through the eyes of others and reflect back to you insecurities, right? Like, what is he looking at? What are they looking at? What do they think of me? Now, we never had this when we were little tiny, but then all of a sudden it's like, why are you doing that? No YouTube? Oh, great. Okay, well, we're on Vimeo. Okay, we're just gonna go for Instagram. All right, so we're just going on Instagram. So when you're little tiny and you're just doing your thing and you're shining and you're asking for love and it's not weird, and you're getting love and it's not weird, and then all of a sudden the cuteness starts to wear off, or you get a little bit too loud, and all of a sudden it's like, don't do that, don't say that, don't feel that, don't think that, gosh forbid, don't ever look like that. And that starts to distort your self-image, and that self-identity, that self-image, that self-concept becomes the seed that which everything is grown out of. right? That's where your money line is. That's where your relationship line is. That is where, where you take chances in the world, where you put yourself out there, where you don't put yourself out there. Every single woman I have met to date, has a secret desire to shine with a simultaneous fear of shining. It's like, oh my gosh, I want to share the world with what I have. I want to wear my fashion trend. I want to do this, but then I don't want the judgment. I don't want people seeing me. I don't want people knowing me. Why? Why don't you want people to see you? Why don't want people to know you? Is because your past is haunting, right? But what if just by focusing on the body, which is not materialistic at all, because guys, this is your manifesting house. Without your body, you're not manifesting any matter into form, because you take the desire, right? And then you materialize it through the kingdom, through this physical body. And then basically, whatever you're feeling, experiencing, expecting, assuming is going to be basically 3D printed outside of you. So you're the player, okay? And through your assumptions, beliefs, stories, traumas, fears, goals, dreams, you're going to print out of you through people, places, and things an exact algorithm match of what you most focus about. And that's going to come back to you in the form of playmates and playgrounds, okay? And you're going to manifest all of this outside of you. So if you don't like what you're seeing in the mirror and you don't like how you feel about yourself, then that insecurity is going to shine in every one of your relationships. It's going to shine in your purpose. It's going to shine in your money, and it's going to be highlighted. Your insecurity is literally going to be highlighted. The very thing that you think you're hiding, the very thing that you think that nobody knows about you, is actually, it's on display, because law of attraction it works in extremes. So fear and love are huge amplifiers. They're huge charges. So what you fear or hate projects, and what you love projects. And then you get this like fruit and flowers through, all of your middle ground. All right. And so if you are not, number one, being super self-focused, I don't mean selfish because that has a negative connotation, self-focused, to be in the super suit, in the manifesting vehicle that is going to create worlds for you, then you pursuing the job or the money or the guy is always 100% going to end in insecurity. It's going to end in shock. It's going to end in blindsided and like, oh, how could he treat me that way? Well, you were secretly treating yourself that way. And maybe you're not saying the words that they said to you, but you were feeling the insecurity, hoping that they would just love you for who you were, hoping that they would just accept you for where you were. And I know through the power of basically consciousness, although you believe that there are 3D construct rules that you have to follow, you guys, you have no idea what this body is capable of. And I know you're starting to learn it. If you've read Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Superhuman, you're starting to dabble. You're starting to put your toes in there. But if you've been studying epigenetics like I have for the past, 20 years, then you really are going to understand that you truly are unlimited, except that whatever is at the root of you, all right, is what is going to grow out. And I hear so many of you reach out and say, how do I get him to change? How do I get the job? How do I get the money to come in? But ultimately, this is my diagram. The seed is you. The soil, right? So like the seed is the unborn child, and the soil is the womb. And no, you don't know how it's going to look when it comes out. You don't know if it's going to have daddy's eyes. You don't know what. But once it manifests, flower or fruit, okay, you are basically looking at a spitting image of what you secretly and overtly and suppressively believe about yourself. And that is a rude awakening. I know I've been smacked in the face by that flower so many times. Like, oh, that can't be true. That is not me. That is not who I am. But it is. It is. If you track it back to your first 7 years, you're going to find the same pattern. You're going to be humiliated. You're going to be betrayed. You're going to be left out. You're not going to be seen and heard. You're going to feel unworthy. You're going to feel all of these things. And so what we're doing to create the quantum leap is we're not trying to change the apple tree into a banana tree. We are working at the root. Okay, so how do you manifest your dream body? Now, I'm getting ready to do just a really quick 90-day boot camp with it's a video every single day. Like if you were going to go work out with like a Hollywood trainer or something, they would kick your ass. And that's what I plan to do if you're going to do this boot camp with me. So it's called How to Manifest Your Dream Body in 90 Days. And you're literally going to get 90 videos because that's how much information I have to give you and walk with you. Also, it's how consistent you have to be. There's going to be no days off. But in 90 days, you could be sitting in a super suit that is beyond your wildest dreams because basically your body is just the biography of your mind. So all of the pain and trauma that you haven't worked through, all of the heartbreaks and failures and the insecurities and the injuries and time issues and the anxiety, all of that stuff is literally sitting in your body, creating your nervous system to feel like it's got to constantly 24 hours be on the defense, which if you're looking at that brainwave, it's beta, and beta accelerates aging. It speeds you up to protect you, right? Nature. Okay, we don't get it. But if we're going to truly have the body become the age that our soul feels, like our spirit feels, like how old is your body right now? But how old do you feel? Right? Like the more of this work you do, the younger you feel. The more of the shadows you get rid of, the baggage you get rid of, but a lot of the aftermath is sitting in your body, and your cells are they're either a I gotta charge my phone. They're either a cellmate, like they either become a cells, or they become a cellular signal. All right, and so let me charge before we die here. Okay, so you've got to look at your body as like those cells are like CDs. And just like we used to burn them back in the day and record over them, your cells are doing the exact same thing. So just because you've raised your consciousness or you've started affirming I ams, your whole entire body was created out of your root beliefs a month ago, 2 months ago. And if you haven't gone in and changed the root signature, then the flower will always look the same. But what I've noticed is if you're affirming like I am rich, but you feel lacking in your root chakra, you're going to create a storm outside of you because that is in such great opposition. The same with you trying to go on a diet or trying to eat perfect. The reason why no two diets work for people is because no two people have the same thinking mind. Right? What I want to show you guys how to do is alchemize food. And what that means is you tell food what it's going to be to your body. You decide what that looks like. You decide if outside toxins can hurt you. You decide because you are a creator. But the more power you give away, the more rules you have to follow by other people's belief systems. The more questions you ask other people, the smaller your life is going to get because everybody has doubts and fears that they can't wait to share with you. And if you take my 90-day course, I promise you, you will not be asking anyone for anything except you because you have the infinite power and you haven't been connecting to it. You have the power to not only slow your age down, but turn it backwards. Okay, you can change every single thing about you. If you guys look at videos of me five years ago, like I've changed my entire face. And no, I have not had surgery. I haven't had Botox, nothing, no fillers, nothing. And I have been working on this for the past 3 years and thinking, you know what, even if it takes me a little bit longer because I'm not going for the quick fix, this is going to last me a lifetime. And once you actually become the commander of your own body, you set it and forget it, which means that it stays at the weight that you say it is. It metabolizes food the way you say it does. But you have to go in and you have to change this. So I have it set up in 3 different elements of this boot camp. It's basically Imagineering, which shows you how to connect with your life force energy and become the authority. So you don't need anything outside of you. And part 2 is the thought rehab. You have to completely change the way you're thinking about yourself and others. And part 3 is the alchemy, affirmation, embodiment piece, where we get into the body and we change the muscle memory, we change the cellular memory, we detox all the old programs out, and we start walking in that new space. So truly, like by the new year, you could be sitting in your superhero body. And not only is it going to look phenomenal, it is going to do things. So for almost 50 years old, I don't even need readers yet. And my IQ keeps raising. All right. Because I said so, not because I'm reading or studying or any of that stuff. Once you study enough to realize you are a creator, you should put all the books away and start practicing. Okay. So yes, that will be released hopefully in the next week or two. I'll put lots of posts about it. I'm going to have lots of like detailed videos. So if you're going to have a million questions, right, it's going to be fine. But that will come soon. All right. So the next question. Okay, how do I get him now that I'm not wanting to chase anymore? How do I get him, special person, right, to chase me? How do I get him to fall in love with me if I'm not going to pursue? If I'm not going to show him how amazing I am? If I'm going to show him that I'm not a burden and show him how needless I am because I'm such a strong woman? Well, you just answered your question right there. Ladies, I needed a big smack in the face for this one too. I know that you're a boss bitch. I know that you can do anything a man can do. I know. You had to be strong. You don't want to be. But if you are finding yourself like literally needing or chasing a man right now, it is because you're in your masculine. And your masculine energy has moved you into this place where you have become the provider. You have become the fixer. You have become the pursuer. And that is so out of your true nature that it is going to have you behaving more like a hunter than a gatherer. So, divine feminine, your entire purpose in this universe is to receive gracefully. Receive gracefully. And with your nurturing beauty, harmony, intelligence, wit, caretaking abilities, design artist, your job is to influence and inspire the world. That is your job. You were not supposed to go build a house, pay your boyfriend's bills, like make sure his parents love you and mother him and all these things. And what happens, ladies, and I did a video about this, it's on YouTube. What happens is when you are in your masculine, you are only going to be attracted to passive, emasculated men. And I don't mean men that are in their feminine because they're not acting feminine, but they are going to conform to you far too easy. They're going to give in to you way too easy for what you want because you're in that alpha energy. So you really kind of want a more of a dominating go-getter. And even though you're coming on strong, like I've got it all worked out, you're actually quite unattractive to true masculine men because masculine men wants to lead the family and create the container. And your job would be to fill that loving space. But if you're not being pursued, ladies, he either doesn't like you or he is in his emasculated male and therefore he is used to strong women pursuing him and he's willing to kind of like go with the flow if it's comfortable. Like there's not a drive to like conquer you and lead you and win you and love you and care for you and protect you. So if you're not getting that, ladies, then you are not with a true masculine energy. And you will have to settle for the passive ones that flip on you and where you become very needy on them. And they have one foot in, one foot out because they aren't really working to build with you. And it may be because they got hurt in their last marriage or they're focusing on their kids, like they say. But ultimately, a man's true essence is to build, provide, protect, fix, and allow that woman to fill the space abundantly and together when we are not in our root wounding. Like I was in my masculine since I was like 2 and didn't even know it. I just figured this out like a few years ago. And I was like, well, no wonder, right? No wonder I've been the breadwinner in every relationship, right? So you have to understand what you're growing out of is you're growing the attraction of those partners because you are leading in a root wound is I don't feel safe with the masculine. So you're going to attract a more passive masculine so that you can be the dominant, so you can be the better looking one, so you can make more money, so you can feel safe. And I will tell you, ladies, those passive ones, they hurt you way worse than the dominant ones. The dominant ones are at least a gentleman, right? If you guys break up, they'll still help you move out of the house. But if you get a passive man and break up with him and he's not ready for that ship to sail, your character will be attacked. He'll start acting like a narc. It's a hot mess. Okay, so trust me when I say this, I've been through all of it. So when you are wanting to not have to chase all the time, ladies, you have to understand that you are just in your masculine energy and that needs to be healed and nurtured, which means you need to create a safe space for yourself and maybe, tone it down a bit for not, what you're chasing, and allow the universe to come to you magnetically, because you're the womb of creation. You're here to let everything come to you and say, oh, you're so beautiful, I love your glasses, right? That's what your job is. But we've gotten so twisted in this culture because this is how society is going to fail, is that we're not in our true godly roles anymore. And, the kids are going, well, I don't know what I am, because mom's the boss and dad's crying on the couch, right? So it's like we've got to ask not what that is, not that that's even bad, but what do we want? And guys, if you're in a situation where you're not feeling motivated to provide and protect, it isn't because you can't. It is because there is a wound there that's telling you that you're not allowed. And I would literally take some inventory on that, and I would challenge it. I would pull on your gladiator roots, and I would be like, you know what? I'm bigger than this. I'm better than this. I deserve more than this. And I promise you, if you're in your masculine, that woman will completely submit to you, and she will treat you like the queen and the king that you deserve to be. But only if you're treating her like a queen, not a mother, not a roommate, not a one night stand, not not a bestie, not a situational ship. But you got to look at what you're attracting to find out what your root is. You're not going to know what your root is by trying to look within. You've got to actually see what you're attracting back, because it's always going to be in the polarity of it. It's always going to be in opposition. So you can find where that root is pretty easily. Okay. All right. So next question is, one person says, can I manifest plastic surgery when I do the 90-day diet? Guys, here's the thing. And I have so many people ask me this. I don't have any belief systems about plastic surgery. If that's what you want, if you're like, I can't manifest a new nose and you want a new nose, go get a new nose. I mean, modern technology. But I will tell you, work on your self-concept, your self-esteem first. Because if you have I am not beautiful running, you'll get the doctor that will botch you. If you have the nobody loves me, then you'll have the doctor that'll mess up. Or, and then you'll end up in a lawsuit and you'll end up fighting. And it isn't because the doctor messed up. It is because you manifested the perfect match to your unconscious wound. I know it's scary. But if you get that aligned first, then it doesn't matter what happens outside of you. It's going to be the path of least resistance, and it's going to be exactly what you want and need. All right. I promise you that. Okay. How do we quantum leap? All right. I know a lot of you want to get the hell out of hell right now. And I know it's almost like everything feels like it's getting a little bit worse, but ultimately it's not getting that much worse. You're just becoming more aware. You're becoming more focused. You're becoming less fear driven. You're becoming more love driven. Like fear isn't your motivating factor anymore. You're more motivated. Like, I just want peace and harmony, and I just want love. And as soon as you can shift from being fear motivated, because the thing is people that are fear motivated don't even know that there's anything going on here, because they're still in that motivation. They're still in that rat race. They're still being that sheep mentality. But when you are like, I just don't care that much. I just want love. And I just want peace, and I don't want to work so hard. Then you start to shift over into that like fifth dimensional like vehicle. And now it's time to embody it, which the way that you're going to quantum leap anything is you're going to embody the state of being. You're going to become the money. Okay. Like, this is my purse, right? Isn't it adorable? You're going to become the money. And then you will be in the parallel reality where it's just printing out of you. Remember how I said everything is printed out of you? You are the 3D printer. So if there is a lack there, guys, anywhere, if there is a lack there, it is because you're not printing it out. And so in 3D is I need. Now, if you really understood what desire is actually a memory from your higher self saying, look who we are. Look who we are. It's a memory with your higher self. It's telepathy from your higher self or God or whatever you want to call that that's saying, this is who you are. Now, ego is in separation, or the lower consciousness believes that it is separate. So it filters through the five senses as this is what we need. It filters through the five senses as this is what we need. Hear that. And then by the time you get the awareness, I need money. I need this so I can feel worthy. I need this so I can feel like my higher self. But that is the vibration your higher self is holding for you. If you've got that natural queen energy and that royal energy and you're sassy and basically everything the world is humiliated for is probably your true essence. And you just decide to stand in it, even if you don't have the money yet, even if you don't have these things, and you just say, this is who I am. And then you act it, you clear out, you affirm the opposition of your root wounds. You walk in your truth and you become the money. See, here's the worst thing you could do right now. And I did this, so this is why I know it's so bad. When I was going through my transition from like the masculine boss babe energy to just like, I just want to frolic and grow vegetables, kind of, maybe be a rich housewife one day, who knows, just be a woman, just dress up for no reason on a Monday, just be myself. I had to change my entire life because I built my whole life from that go-getter hustle. I valued myself on how many people I could save, how much I could work. And then I would always get taken advantage of or hurt, and I would always have to start over, and I would have to rebuild, because it's like thinking about like fruit versus seeds, and like flowers. Flowers are going to be like always having to regrow, and fruit is like continuous. So, when you're in your masculine as a feminine, you're always going to have to start over all the time. You're never going to have sustainable, because that's the masculine is the foundation. It's the foundation of you. And so you have a masculine feminine energy within you that needs to be rebalanced. That's the first thing we're going to do in the workshop. But when we're looking at quantum leaping, you've got to understand is that whatever you believe that you need is coming from a belief that I don't already have that, or that I don't already own that within me, or that's not yet who I am. And if you want something and not need it, it's a sign that you're getting closer. So I call it first person, second person, or third person. When you are in first person of your state of being, you are the I am. You're like, I am the wealth, and your root's like, yep, and it will grow fruit from that. You will become a money tree. All right. But if you're in second person, which is I need God or I need help, you go from I am God to I need God, second person, child to parent. That's where you're working on getting the trust, the sustainability. You're walking your talk. That's the journey. So want is kind of like if you're going to play the game of hot and cold. The want is you're getting closer to the isness, like you already have it. It's already yours. And so that's a good like way to see it. But if you're in need, you are not a vibrational match to it whatsoever. And that's third person. So you're basically looking at the eyes of the world back at you to determine who you are, instead of going to a direct connection, which is the I am. But you don't want to start affirming the I am because some person said, oh, your brain doesn't need to believe it, just keep doing it. Yes, eventually your body will give in, but you will create a hellstorm. If your root says I am not wealthy and you're affirming I am, you will literally basically counteract all of the work that you're doing, and you'll attract nothing, or you'll attract some sort of dominating experience to devalue you and push you back into that lack of self-worth, because the root is always going to continue to grow. No matter what you try to hide or shift or look like on the surface, the root's gonna keep growing, and it's gonna feel like 10 steps forward, right? And always 20 steps back if your root has a belief. So the way we quantum leap is that we recognize the patterns. Look at your biggest relationship challenge and find your insecurity. Find your biggest money challenge and find the insecurity. Like, how does it make me feel when I don't have that? And then go into the root and look at your story of I'm not worthy, or men don't support me, or men don't stay, or whatever, or money is always taken from me, or money is the root of all evil. You've got to find that. All right. And then what you're going to do is, instead of going, oh, I found my root and I'm going to go affirm that I'm rich. No, just because you found it Doesn't mean you can go back up here, because that's the biggest trap in spirituality is you have the aha moment, but then you don't embody it. Now you have to go do the work. Now what you're going to do is you're going to break that horse. So your body is very much like a horse, okay? And spirit, there's a spirit of life and there's a spirit of death. And the spirit of life is eternal, it's life force energy, it's light, it's love, it's kindness, it's nurturing, it's healing, it's prosperity, it's abundance, it's freedom. And then there's a spirit of death that is destructive, it's calculated, it's critical, it's pessimist, it's worried, it's doubtful, it's bitter, it's resentful, it's guilty, it's shamed. And both are very much alive spirit. And then there's the body. So if we're going to look at the body as a wild stallion, okay, and we're realizing that maybe the spirit of fear has been leading our bodies for most of our life, then the authority of the higher you, the one, the I am that's stepping forward right now and really truly affirming yourself, is going to have to step in with much more than just, I am rich. You're going to have to affirm, which means every time a doubt comes up, you're going to have to meet it with faith. Every time discouragement comes up, you're going to have to meet it with encouragement. You're literally going to have to stomp on the scorpions and the snakes, just like the Bible said, over and over and over again, until the body, which is primal and has its own consciousness, it can has its own program without spirit running through it, because it has the spirit of the body running through it, but it is here to be written and used and a vehicle to manifest that which spirit cannot do without a body. Okay, a spirit without a body cannot taste chocolate. A spirit without a body cannot feel the hugs. Okay, so you're here for the embodiment. And if you've been unaware because you've been people pleasing in everybody else's life, that the spirit of death has basically been parenting the body is going to be more addicted to doubt. It's going to be more addicted to shame. It's going to be more believing that it's not worthy. And it's going to be a wrestling match in the beginning. And if you guys have ever worked with wild animals to get them to submit, the body that is working with that has been led by the spirit of death for a really long time, when you get it back, it's not going to look the way you want it to look. It's not going to act the way you want it to act. And you're going to have to, like a loving parent, show up ritually, continuously, consistently, disciplined, and you're going to have to stay in your authority until the body says, okay, this is way better. Right? Because right now it loves drama and it loves to be sick, because it's constantly getting fed something to feel whole because it feels in lack. So it's a whole process, but this is what we're going to be doing big time in the 90-day boot camp. And I will tell you guys, my boot camp is 80% imagination. So no crazy diet and no crazy exercises. You won't even begin to look at food or look at exercise until month 3. Because once you become the dominant thinker and you're thinking the thoughts you choose, like right now, you guys are all breathing, hopefully, right? Your body's breathing, and you're probably thinking, and your body is thinking. So those thoughts that you're thinking are not coming from the new affirmed you all the way yet. But right now, you could have a thought like, she looks crazy, and why is her eyebrow so big? And, I wonder if this. And then you could override that with a thought like, I like what she's saying, or this makes sense to me. So just like I could take my breath back and breathe deliberately, you're going to have to start taking your thoughts back and choose thoughts to think instead of always believing the ones that pop up, right? And they're always going to pop up with character attacks. It's going to be about your pride. It's going to be about your guilt. It's going to be about obligation. It's going to be about old commitments. It's going to be about suffering. It's going to be about someone's coming to get you. Someone's going to hurt you. And this is the way that the spirit of death uses your body as a host, okay, and basically runs you into the ground until you're sitting on a chair watching 12 hours of news and TV, and you're on 16 different meds, and you're grumpy, and, you're barely a food source. And if you literally stop allowing that particular spiritual energy to move through you and say, you know what, I'm done with guilt and shame. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to do all this work, and I'm going to take the authority of my body. You guys, in 90 days, not only would you and your body be in unified balance, your self-esteem and your confidence would be so high you wouldn't be afraid to shine anymore. You wouldn't let guys treat you like that. You wouldn't let women treat you like that. You wouldn't be questioning, what are we? How do I get them to love me? You would be like, because every single time, you guys, what you settle for, you always get less than you settled for. I learned that the hard way. Because you're like, that guy can't hurt me. It's a 6 and I'm an 8, right? Guess what? They're the ones who hurt you the most because you have your guard down. You're like, this person can't hurt me. And then they do. And you're like, now you're really humiliated. So I've been through all of this. And when you start to really truly love yourself, you guys, you you won't even attract that anymore. Like you won't even like it won't even rendezvous with you. You won't even have to say no thank you because remember the player is going to print the 3D printer is going to print out the players and the playground, which means your reality is going to change. The people in your life are going to change because you changed the root. And you've got to change the soil. So if you look at the root, right, like I said, it's the seed, it's the unborn child in the womb. And then the soil is the womb. It's like, it's the health of the way that body can grow. And I have had a miscarriage before. And so, how many, when you guys feel like nothing's happening, you might want to look at the fact that this might just be miscarriaging and you're going to have to go look at some root beliefs. So if you're not ready to do the serious crazy boot camp, and I will tell you, it's like I said, it's in 90 videos. It's some major tough love, but the results that I will get you with only like 80% mental work will be the work you never have to do again because I don't have to go work out now. I don't have to eat a certain way. I don't have to go get age things because I'm getting older and I'm going to be 49 this year. So now that I don't have to do that, there's more life joy. There's more fun. There's more, I don't have to go, oh, the restaurant doesn't carry gluten-free bread. So I'm opening up my freedom. Like I used to be allergic to gluten and dairy. I had fibromyalgia. I had raging migraines. And I had a crazy eating disorder for 35 years where I was 40 pounds up, 60 pounds, 80 pounds down. And then finally I would go really starve myself for months and get skinny, but I was skinny fat girl. Like I didn't have like good muscle tone and I had lots of cellulite and stuff. And you guys, I have literally reversed all of that without trying. All I did was focused on my root beliefs about me. It sounds totally selfish, but it's self-focused because you are the center of the universe. So did you guys know that if you're affirming or you're visualizing and you're not in first person, like let's say, oh, I see myself on a stage, you're looking across the room, you're actually going to manifest that for someone else because you can only get the manifestation through the vehicle of the eyes. So God looks through your eyes to manifest. So if you're looking at someone else, that's why your neighbor's driving the car instead of you. You've got to drive that car. You've got to be behind the wheel. You've got to feel it, touch it, all those things. You've got to smell it, everything. And it's got to become. And so I'm also going to be teaching you guys the correct way to visualize before you get something, how circumstances will never matter because it's last month's 3D print. So what you're going to be creating in the next 30 days has everything to do with if you're working in the root or not. And so that pretty much sums up all of our questions for today. Yeah, we're good. We're 40 minutes. And I have like 15 more, but I really wanted to spend time on the money idea, the relationship idea, the self-esteem idea, and the body. There is no shame in you having the body that you have always wanted. And the reason why is because you hold your shoulders up high. You feel confident. You can actually wear things that represent your who you are. Like you don't have to dress for your body type. You can be a different person every day because everything fits you. If you manifest that dream vacation, you're going to go run to it because you're not embarrassed about being in a bikini. You're not thinking about who you can manifest based on, is he going to love you enough because of that part of your body, or is they going to love you because you have 4 kids like I do. You're going to know that you are the prize, or as a man that you are the king, and anyone that is looking at you is going to be a winner. But if you don't see that, and I don't mean from arrogance, like it's more of like an inner knowing that it is how you look, right? But when your body looks good and feels good every single naked and every single day, then when you are naked, vulnerable, you are so much more free to speak your truth, to ask for what you need, to stop settling, to go on adventures, to manifest more money because you have more energy, to be with your kids more. You guys, if you were like me and you were creating joyful situations where you didn't feel joyful because you were chronically depressed and you were anxious all the time, that's also stuff that's happening in the body. So it's not all about getting, toned arms. It's also about healing the mental suppression that happens when we swallow all of our feelings and we're living in the state of chronic worry and fear and insecurity. There's no quality of life there. This is why you spend so many hours on social media watching other people live, and you're here to be the leading role, right? Not study everyone's content. Find something that speaks truth to you and put it down and embody it. Because anything you're not consistent with, guys, is not going to work. That exercise equipment that you've got that's now a coat rack, it would have worked if you were consistent and you would have changed your mindset. So think about that. That's really where we're doing for 90 days. It takes 21 days to change a pattern all the way down into the bone marrow. It can change instantly in the mind, but the body is the last to receive because it's the densest unconscious part of you, and it is going to receive last. So you've got to stay consistent and break that horse. Those addictions. I want to go on a diet. I want to eat well today, and then you're in the Wendy's drive-through. You have not broken that horse yet. At least the spirit of God has not within you. Is not broken that horse. Maybe some other spirit has broken that horse, and it's leaning towards what's the point in it? It's not fair, and I can't manifest what I want, and He doesn't love me. That's not part of the playground I'm creating. So you guys, I will post the details of that. Also, if you're not ready for that, we have a fellowship group where we really lean on each other and affirm for each other, help each other create reality, not from our realities, because that's where a lot of the triggers are, but like of a just a loving, very non-judgmental space for us to kind of like get our feet wet with our new God selves and practicing our new 5D energy, and really without victim or perpetrator energy, just practice like those sea legs in there and try different techniques and work through what works and doesn't. And that's found on Facebook. It is a paid group, but it's only $23 a month. It's got so much content in there. It's got guided meditations. It's got tons of worksheets and just tools. It's just tools. It's only $23 a month. It is on Facebook. I will put the link in this comment section or in the when I'm done here. And also you can check out my link tree. I've got that info there. The boot camp will be starting, and when I'm ready to post that, you guys, I will for sure put all of the links up. But there's a couple of things I'm waiting for, some just links that I need, because you're going to have a lot. I mean, you're going to have something to do every single day, regardless if it's the weekend. But I promise you that none of my stuff is like go to the classroom. It's life. It's being at the dinner table. It's the laundry. It's the what do I say at my grandmother's house when I'm around all this toxic family. So every day there is a way for you to mold your mind around your desired self while you live in your life. Okay. And through 3 years of biohacking, I finally shortened it down to 90 days. And after the 90 days, you'll have every single thing you need for the rest of your life to heal any disease, any illness, any sign of aging. You can pick your age that you want, right? Because your body was only designed to age 21 years until Creator stepped in. But unfortunately, we looked at what everybody else was doing and thought, okay, well, everybody else is getting old, so I guess I can get old. But isn't it weird how your spirit feels younger than you did when you were younger? Ask yourself that. I am magician is imagination, but there are two imaginations. There's the imagination of creation, and there's the imagination of death. And so if you're spending more time in what if and assumptions and where is he and why did he do that, you're using the imagination of death, which is also a form of God consciousness. And I will tell you that if you keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, something's going to break on your body. So there should really be one master, and when thy eye be single, the body will be filled with light. And there is the scripture decoded. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see you hopefully Friday. I don't know what's going on with our YouTube channel, but it didn't stream. But I will post this in the Facebook groups and I will download it if I can and get it on YouTube. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Friday for either our second part of the Q&A or to go over some other things that have come up. See you soon. Bye, guys. Now I figured out how to close this thing. Okay, there we go.